I hope you have unlimited text messaging. By Miss Carr. Chapter 114. Conversation 66. Crossroads. Tony. Okay, so I'm kind of having a crisis of conscience, and since you are Mr. Paragon of Virtue, I need your help so I can avoid another fuck-up such as killer robots or Siberia. Me. Okay, this has to be important if you're texting me in the middle of the night. Tony. Yes, it's that important that I would have woken you up in the middle of the night if I realized it was the middle of the night. I still thought you were only about 7 hours ahead. Me. You know I can't tell you where I am, even if I wish I could. Tony. That's okay. Let's be honest, I still would have sent this message anyway. Me. What's going on? Tony. Remember I told you that I was going to a playoff soccer match with Monkey Lover and the supposedly reformed doctor who made mind-controlled zombies last spring? Me. Yes? Something happened? Tony. Apparently somebody is not that reformed, and science is more important than good decision making, which I get, but I still do not want to be in this position. Again! Me. What happened, Tony? Tony. So I show up to the house early because my new assistant Mary decided that she can't tell me when things actually start because I'll show up 30 minutes late. Me. I'm starting to really like her already. Tony. Due to the red hair, most of the office is calling her Pepper 2.0. She doesn't have the super speed of Yo-Yo, but she has other special skills, like getting me to social gatherings early. Me. This is a problem somehow? Tony. It is when you get accosted by a naked, anatomically correct life model decoy, because of course LMDs are actually a thing, that the supposedly reformed doctor has been working on in his spare bedroom. My James should have never given him access to old shale files. Tony. The LMD was also anatomically correct. Like, I would not have known that she was an LMD until she started to speak, and I recognized that I was talking to Ada. Me. Oh, God! Tony. And she may have got caught in a feedback loop. It was highly uncomfortable and extremely creepy. Me. Isn't the development of that type of android illegal? Tony. Yes, it's the Tony Stark clause. I actually had to take a few whistles out of the suit and droids to come into compliance. They're not allowed to think too much on their own. Obviously, Friday is the queen of loophole abuse. I program my baby well. Me. Tony, focus! Tony. So Radcliffe really invited us over early for non-alcoholic pre-match drinks so he could show me and Dr. Monkey Lover his illegal LMD and probably get us to work out all the kinks. I'm so glad Monkey Lover was late because my James decided to send Dr. Simmons off on a mission and he just had to see her off. It's best that only one of us had to deal with this ethical dilemma. Me. So Monkey Lover doesn't know? Tony. He's still an innocent science baby. Thankfully, I put Ada to sleep in the guest room. Not the closet like Radcliffe wanted before Monkey Lover arrived. Tony. What type of idiot puts a sentient robot in the closet? Dummy still has his own room. Me. That's good, I think. This whole thing seems really weird. Your bots have their own room? Tony. Of course! You know they're like my children, the good ones anyway. Okay, this may be because I don't want my robots to try to kill me again. Never have it be said that I don't learn from my mistakes. Tony. By the way, the not-so-reformed doctor based Ada's body on that of his former girlfriend. She left him last year right before he started working for the founder of the Cult of the Squid, which makes this afternoon creepier and reminds me of a couple of Buffy episodes. Me. I haven't watched that much Buffy. Tony. Friday, add Buffy to the possible list of things to watch while on dates. Friday. The movie or the TV show? Tony. The TV episodes about future villains making sex bots. It will be educational. Me. I don't even want to know. How did you discover that he made a life model decoy of his ex-girlfriend? Friday. Mr. Stark has programmed me to run facial recognition on any individual who attacks him in the nude. This is why he usually wears sunglasses. Tony. I get creeped out when people accost me without clothes on. Me. This has happened before? Tony. When you're rich and have a sex tape, people do some crazy things to get your attention. Finding naked strangers in my bedroom was kind of a thing during the 90s and early 2000s. I've put that piece of code into Jarvis and it carried over to Friday. I probably should modify it to people who tried to attack me. It might be more useful now. Me. Probably. Tony, don't worry, the only naked person I want to see is you. I can't wait to take your clothes off. Me, please remember, there is a good chance a 16-year-old is reading this. Tony, oh good, she can help with the ethical dilemma, which is let Radcliffe keep developing his android for the alleged greater good, or tell the director what's going on with Ada and put a stop to it. Me, what is the greater good in this case? Tony, expendable forces / less dead people. Instead of sending an actual agent into a situation that will probably kill them, you can send an LMD. For example, if we knew about the Vulture's attack in advance, we could have staffed the cargo plane with LMDs, and therefore I would not have the blood of 2 S.H.I.E.L.D. agents on my hands because of Abby's insecurities. Me, I can understand where that would be useful. Tony, there are other applications. I really would love a lifelike android to take my place during board meetings. Maybe then they would stop trying to lock me out of my own company. Me, are they still trying to get proof of you being mentally unfit? Tony, every other day. It's exhausting. They have such a ridiculous concept of mental illness. It's enough to make me not want to take my medication, but then if I don't take the medication, I will become what they say I am, and I'm not giving them the satisfaction. I don't want to be reckless and hurt people, so I need to stay on my treatment plan. Me, the personality of this LMD would be like Friday, not Ultron. Tony, and Friday keeps playing matchmaker and conspiring with the royal genius behind my back. She has all these friends that are not me. That could be dangerous. Not trying to end the world dangerous, but still dangerous. Me, but Friday always looks out for your best interest. Tony, unfortunately, Ada is not Friday. I created Friday completely from the ground up. As I learned with Ultron, never trust anyone else's code. Me, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I could ask you what you think you should do. Tony, I have to tell James, even though part of me thinks that LMDs could be useful. Maybe if there was an LMD Steve running around, Stephen Carter could move back to the States and we could live happily ever after without anybody knowing that you were back and, trying to kidnap you to run experiments on you. Also, the LMD can deal with the bullet damage, not you. Bonus! Me, that's not as much of an issue anymore. The new suit is mostly bulletproof. Tony, I will believe that when I see it. Your upgraded shield was awesome, but we'll see. Me, talk to your James. He's your best friend, and you shouldn't keep this from him. Also, telling him doesn't necessarily mean the end of the project. There might be a way to keep the research going. Tony, research that is technically against the Accords. Me, talking to me right now is technically against the Accords, but you're still doing it. More importantly, S.H.I.E.L.D. is letting you do it. Tony, because when the alien invasion, possibly world-ending apocalypse happens, they want you on their side. Me, I'll be on your side. Tony, thank you. By the way, I'm counting this as going over question 36. Tony, I really wish Jane would just not force me to do an article for the New York Times when I'm dealing with everything else. Me, even though I also don't want any of this in the New York Times, I'm glad you came to me to discuss this instead of trying to figure it out all on your own. Tony, I'm really trying to actually learn from my mistakes. I think my arrogance has gone down a whole 12% since the murder bot fiasco. Me, for the sake of sharing, I probably now need to tell you one of my problems. Tony, that would be nice. I really don't feel like talking to the not-so-reformed doctor, and Monkey Lover must be text messaging the girlfriend. It sounds like the type of conversations we have, although I don't know why he refers to her as Football Hunter in his contracts. Me, who knows? I used to be Captain Tight Pants in your owner's book. I guess we should also go back into questions 34 and 35. Tony, we are not doing 35. We both had to bury all of our actual family members. I'm not making you answer that question. Somebody can make something up for that one. Tony, okay, the obvious answer is each other. Or maybe Benji for you. Okay. The each other part, not the Benji part. Tony, that works, although I don't even want to think about losing Benji, or you for that matter. Me, I guess answering 34 would be difficult for you since your house did blow up that time. Tony, because I'm a moron. It may be because I'm a billionaire, or maybe because I've managed to successfully back up everything important to the cloud. I don't think there's anything tangible worth running in for. Me, you scanned all of your dad's diaries? Tony, and all of Piggy's letters and everything else, so they'll exist somewhere. Even then, I would want to keep those things because of the people who wrote them, not because of what they are. People are more important than things. Me, that's true. I agree. Tony, okay, now give me a problem that I can help you solve. Here. Me, here's the problem. I met this great guy who I am completely in love with. Unfortunately, we do not live in the same country right now. The reason why we don't live in the same country is I do not want to sign a document putting myself under government control because I don't entirely trust my government right now. Tony, which is understandable. Ross will be gone soon, but some of the names being whispered about are not good. Someone mentioned Norman Osborn as a possible successor if POTUS gets a second term. Me. The corporate executive? Tony. Yes. Me. What the hell would he know about foreign policy? Tony. You're starting to get a dirty mouth. What would our 16-year-old royal super genius lawyer think? We're supposed to be setting a good example. Tony. And you're right, Osborn would be an awful head of a government agency. Any government agency. The guy is a dick. Me. This is the problem. The Accords are dependent on people not being awful, being in charge, but you never know who you're going to get. Tony. I am aware that the successor for Ross might be worse, and that could be bad for everybody under the Accords, although Talbot is pretty benevolent. I think Olsen broke him in. Me. And what happens if he dies or is incapacitated somehow? Tony. Then a lot of us are fucked. His number 2, General Hale, is a real piece of work. Me. And this is why I can't sign. Tony. See, this guy that you love loves you too and realizes what type of situation you are in. As much as he wants you here with him, he'd rather you be thousands of miles away and safe than sleeping next to him right now and be in danger. He doesn't want anything to happen to you because he loves you so much. Me. So what's the solution to my problem? Tony. There isn't one. Not a quick, easy solution. Most good things in life don't have easy solutions. Tony. I keep lobbying the government to come up with something that won't break your integrity or put a bullseye on your back. You keep being you in other countries in the meantime. Maybe with your royal friend having a state dinner with the president next week will move superhero relations forward. Me. I can hope. Tony. Hope is all we have sometimes, but you and me will figure it out because I want to spend the rest of my life with you, and I'm hoping that's a long life. Me. Me too. Tony. Okay, Friday is a brand and started blasting, put a ring on it. This is why we must be wary of even benevolent AIs. Me. That's not too awful. Tony. I'm in public watching the DC United lose a soccer game. People are looking strangely at me. Me. You're Tony Stark. People are always looking at you. Tony. I was trying to avoid that baseball cap and everything. This will totally be on Twitter in 5 minutes. Me. Then I'll get pictures of you in a baseball cap. Tony. And sunglasses. Me. You do look good in sunglasses. Tony. I do. I'll write you in a couple days after I talk to my James and straighten all of this crazy stuff out. Me. Good luck. HRH. He should put a ring on it. Friday. I don't think Mr. Stark is ready to acknowledge that yet. However, I will keep pushing him in that direction. I have several male engagement and wedding ring designs already on file. HRH. Good. Does your boss know that he's meeting with me and not my brother? Friday. Not yet, but you will be informed soon. HRH. Excellent, Friday.